Hey guys, this is Justin at The Survivor Review, and this is something new that I've never really done on this channel. Today I'm going to be talking about vinyl records. Now, I've always wanted to get into collecting these, mostly for movie soundtracks, because to be honest I don't listen to too much music, but I love movie scores and I love collecting them on vinyl, especially now that there's companies, like Death Waltz Records or Waxwork Records, re-releasing classic horror film soundtracks on vinyl, and that's something I've always wanted to get into. And I finally really started that this summer when I picked up the Waxworks release of Stephen King's It. And that's really started me off. I do have one previous record before that I'll show you in a little bit. But that's what really kind of started me off. And the thing is, I just got started with this thing, but I've already hit the peak of my collection. Already like the crown jewel of my collection. This is something that I've been meaning to do a video on for a little bit now, but I just haven't gotten around to it. This is the Death Waltz Records Halloween 1 through 5 vinyl box sets. This thing is beautiful. This is amazing. This is something that I've been collecting actually in a way for the past few months, because basically what Death Waltz Records did is that they announced this set back in July, and they released the Halloween 4 and 5 album that month, plus the collector's box that comes with it. And then in August they released the Halloween 3 soundtrack, then in September was Halloween 2, and then in October it was the original Halloween. Now, I missed out on the initial run for the 4 and 5 plus the box set release, and I ended up doing the pre-order, so I actually didn't receive this box set or anything till the middle of October. And then I didn't order the Halloween 3 album because I already have that, which I'll get to in a minute. And then I ordered Halloween 2 in September and Halloween 1 in October, and finally have them all here in this amazing set. Now, their albums for Halloween 1, 2, and 3 are a reprint or repressing. I think it might be slightly different. They might be slightly more remastered. I'm not exactly sure on that, because they have released the soundtracks for Halloween 1, 2, and 3 in the past. Now, I'd never picked those up, and I'd always wanted to own the original Halloween soundtrack on vinyl. That's just something that, even if I didn't collect this stuff, I wanted just because it's Halloween. We all know how much I love that movie. So let's start off by taking a look at the actual box set here, which is this amazing artwork here. I love this. It's very kind of subtle. You just have the shot of Michael in the middle, the little kid Michael right there. I love the pumpkin in the back. It's great little attention to detail. It's amazing. Now the material on this is super soft. It's like really nice soft texture to it. It's really great. Really nice. I love the spine here. It's pretty epic. I love how the image on the side here is from Halloween 3, which is just friggin' perfect. I love it. Then you got the back right here, which is just great. You got little Jamie in there, and you kind of see the ghost of Michael behind her. I think it's just so cool. I love how the back here you have Jamie, and the front you have Kid Michael. It's just a great looking pair of images that goes together perfectly, and I love this box so much. This thing is so great. Now, taking a look at the individual albums here, I'm going to start with Halloween 3, because like I mentioned, I did not get the new release. This is actually the original release. And the main reason why I didn't get the new one is because, I actually really like this old one. I think it's a really nice release. Also, there's a bigger thing to it. It's the fact that I have it autographed by Alan Howarth, the composer, who I met at a convention a few years back. And this is actually, I got this album there. He was actually selling these at his table, and I was like, yeah, I have to have this, I love the Halloween 3 soundtrack. It's my favorite Halloween score next to the original. So to get the actual composer, both him and John Carpenter did a score for this one too, but he worked on it, So of course I had to get him to sign it, and I really love it. It's really awesome. And I really like this one. Yeah, the new one they did is really cool looking. It's very elaborate, very kind of big. But I like this one. I like the simplicity of the artwork up here. Also, he did sign some other stuff inside. He signed the poster that came with it, and he also signed the booklet that came with it. So yeah, that's the original release of Halloween 3. Now taking a look at all the new ones here, I'm going to go in reverse. I'm going to go backwards how they released them. Starting with Halloween's 4 and 5. I'll start with Halloween 5 to get the weakest movie out of the way. The album here, this just makes a bad movie look good. Yeah, front artwork right there. That's actually a really cool shot. It's really kind of neat. Back right there. Pretty sweet. Inside here. Cool shot there. Yeah, Michael is looming in the back there. Pretty friggin' sweet. And then you get to the vinyl on here. Now, the score was done by Alan Howarth. He actually did the scores for 4 and 5 just solo. And then he collaborated with John Carpenter for Halloween's 2 and 3. And then, of course, John Carpenter did the original score himself. So the actual vinyl here, really nice looking. It's pretty cool. I like the colors. I like the white, actually. I don't know. It has a really cool look to it. I really like the white on there. So yeah, pretty neat. Pretty neat sets. The score for Halloween 5 is decent. I don't know. I don't have too much fond memories of it. But it's cool to have for the collection. Like, the scores that I know more fondly are 1 through 4, but that's because I've seen those movies more. And, this is like a gatefold, you know, opening right here. Right there is where the album is. There's also another slot right here that has just, like, the information, like, sheets. The information sheet right here that, you know, talks about the score, and then actually goes kind of behind the scenes on the movie right there. No artwork on this one. As you'll see in the other ones, they actually have artwork on them. This one, like, they're just, like, probably like, it's Halloween 5, screw it. Yeah, just have a bunch of info. It's still nice, though. You can't go wrong with that. And then that brings us to Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. The artwork on this one's really cool. Actually, I really like this. I like how they faithfully recreated the Halloween 4 mask. Like, even though in me and Sam's review we just did of the movie, we criticized the mask saying it doesn't look that good. But I like the attention to detail. That's like they got the original mask on there. Nice. The back artwork, though, I really like. I like this the most. It's just so sick. I love it. Inside here, a shot of the town right there. Okay. Very reminiscent of the opening credits sequence from the movie, which I like a lot. And then, you know, speaking of accuracy, like going in the opposite direction, the information card here, which, you know, has info right there about the movie and everything. And then the front here has a recreation of the shot from the movie with him stealing the mask, except it's the original mask, not the Halloween 4 mask. So kind of weird how they perfectly recreated it for the album, but didn't on this one. But whatever. I still like that though. It's a cool shot. And then you get to the album here, which I really like this one. I like this one a lot here. Very similar, like to the Halloween 5 one, except this time it's red instead of blue. I don't know. I really like this one. This one's like one of the more simple ones, especially when you see the albums for Halloween 1 and 2. This is very simple compared to it, but I don't know. I really love it. I love the red and the white. And the back here, that's a mask right there. Sick. I really love this album. It just looks so cool. I really like it. Really cool looking album for a really good soundtrack. I really like this one a lot. Have a lot of nostalgia for this soundtrack to this movie. So glad to have it on vinyl. And then that brings us to Halloween 2. Now here's the artwork on here. I love the artwork on these sets. They're just so unique and so cool looking. I really like them. I think they're really cool. So the front there. The back right so there. Pretty nice. Now opening it up here. Now all these albums except for the Halloween 1 album all have like the 2 openings, the one for the album and then the one for the information sleeve. They all have that except for the first one. It doesn't have this one, the one with the information on there. Then you get to the shot on the inside there, which is just so cool. Like, I love the artwork right here. That's freaking fantastic. Oh, that's great. And then you have the information card, which mine's not in that good a shape. It's a little kind of bent and everything because it just kind of got stuck in there. It was originally on the side of the album, and so those kind of got smushed together a little bit when I was putting it back in there, but I eventually moved it. So you got the information card right there, all the stuff. Yeah, pretty cool shot there, Michael. But yeah, awesome addition. I love the soundtrack too. It's another good one. Really, it's very much like the same soundtrack as the original movie, but it's really cool. I like it. It's unique in its own right. And then taking a look at the album here. Now I can't recall correctly if the actual albums for the 4 and 5 ones, like if that, like the red and the white or the blue or the white were exclusive to Mondo or not. I forgot about those ones, but I know for sure these ones are. This is the Mondo variant. The regular edition is just a regular orange vinyl, which is really cool and all, but like, I want a little bit more. So I got the Mondo variant, and actually I really like this one here. It's really great colors on it. Right there. So that's pretty sick. I like that a lot. I feel like the colors on this matches like the colors on here more so than just the regular plain orange album. So I really like that I went with this one instead. I think it's really good. Very cool. The only thing that's weird is that they made a mistake on here. Now, if you look there, it says a film by John Carpenter. Even though he didn't direct this one. He did direct some of the reshoots with the extra gore and stuff like that, but he didn't direct this movie. So it seems kind of a weird mistake to have a film by John Carpenter on there. Kind of a weird error. But either way, I really love the colors on here. It's just so unique and so cool looking. It's great. I love it. Like, the orange variants are cool to have, but I'd rather have something like more unique than just orange. Like, it makes sense because it's Halloween and all, of course, but I really like the different color variant. Then that brings us to the original 1978 Halloween soundtrack. Again, like I said, this was an album I've been waiting to get. Now, weirdly enough, on initial viewing, the artwork on this is really strange because it doesn't represent the movie well at all. It depicts something that doesn't actually happen in the movie. But then you look at it in person, and it's actually pretty sweet. So, here's the front right there. Now, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense that there's a heavy emphasis on rain. But it never rains in the movie. Like, it rains in the opening scene when Michael escapes, of course, but it never rains when he's actually Michael Myers stalking people. So it's a really weird kind of thing to do to, like, not, you know, adhere to the actual movie. But then you take a close look at this thing, and it's so cool looking. Because the actual artwork here is kind of like a matte finish, and then the raindrops are, like, glossy. Sure, this is not doing it justice. Like, the raindrops are super shiny and glossy. It's so cool looking. Like, I legit love it. Like I said, it doesn't represent the movie perfectly, but it looks so sick. And then you got the back here, which still kind of continues the rain motif, because it's still, you know, raining in the shot. But it's a cool shot of Michael standing behind the window, like that. But yeah, it's still kind of weird they went with rain as kind of the major theme of this album, despite that never happening in the movie. But that's alright. It's still cool looking. Then you got the inside here. It's a shot going into town. What's really interesting is I noticed it when I was watching the movie. This sign here is actually from Halloween 4. So I thought it was kind of a really cool detail to kind of add that in there, because you never actually see the town sign in the original. But I like it. I think it's really cool. It's kind of a cool, ominous shot of Haddonfield. Then we get to the actual vinyl. Again, this is the Mondo exclusive. The regular edition was just orange. And I think this one's really sick. I really like this album. So, there we go. Look at that. That's just sweet. You got like the splatter of black and orange on like a clear silver vinyl. Like, that's so cool looking. I love it. I love these kind of unique ones. Yeah, you don't really need them, and yeah, they're kind of gimmicky. But then you look at them in person, they're just so cool. That's like, yeah, I don't care. I like it. And yeah, like I said, there is no opening on this side. There's no like sheet with like information or anything, which I kind of prefer. I'm not too big on having like the big opening here just for like a piece of paper to tell you about the movie. I just feel that's kind of unneeded. But either way, I like how this one doesn't do that, and I'm happy to finally have the original Halloween album on vinyl. I think it's just friggin' awesome. What's also cool is that now that all these are out of the box, there's actually more detail on here on the inside. It's really hard to see in there, but yeah, it's like newspaper clippings of like events from the movies. It's just a really cool attention to detail right there that I just love. I love just how they went the extra mile with this box set, and I love it. It's so great. So overall, it's just an awesome box set. I'm so happy to have this. This is probably one of my favorite things in my Halloween collection. It's just incredible looking. I love that I have some of my favorite Halloween soundtracks here on vinyl, including the original film. And I'm really happy that my original version of Halloween 3 fits in here nicely with the box set. I never really had anywhere to put the Halloween 3 album. I was just kind of like awkwardly displaying it with my Halloween stuff. And I just didn't really know what to do with it, but now it's in this box set with the rest of the Halloween soundtracks, which is just friggin' perfect. And like I said, this is already going to be the crown jewel of my vinyl collection, just because, like, friggin' look at it. It's amazing. So yeah, that's all I have to say about the Halloween 1 through 5 Death Waltz Records vinyl collection. But that's not all I have to say when it comes to Halloween on vinyl, because there was a certain, new movie that came out recently that had a pretty kick-ass soundtrack. And I'll leave it at that. So, until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.